Inferno Dragon is a beast, man. Inferno Dragon MVP, bro. Dude, but I got the Inferno Dragon already flapping away in the back there. Inferno Dragon, blowing up the Mega Knight, doing his job, flapping down the lane like nobody's business. Inferno Dragon, you're failing me, bro. Inferno Dragon, you're supposed to lock onto them. What's cracking, everybody? Hello and welcome back to Gaming 101 with Mr. Berger. Tonight, we're going to take a second look at this bridge spam deck. This deck is going to allow you to move on up in challenges, if you get the hang of it and play it right. Now, I did this deck earlier today in Clash with Ash's 10k tourneys that he hosts daily. I did a video recently explaining how to get in on those free tournaments. So, check that out if you haven't yet. Easy way to get cards, easy way to get into competitive tournaments and get into the scene and get noticed and play against some good players and communicate with a friendly Clash Royale community. So, I'll try to set something up on the screen later that lets you guys kind of take a flash at the look at the screenshots that I took as proof that I got 6-0 with this deck earlier today. And I mean, I got like 128th or something like that in the 1,000 person tournament, which isn't great, but hey, it's decent for a noob like me. It's pretty significant on my own personal level of achievement, right? So I definitely recommend this deck, and let's focus more on actual replays on this video. Whereas the other one, if you haven't taken a look at that already and you want some more tips on strategy and card replacements, you can take a look at the first bridge spam deck that I did last night. So at this point, I pretty much took down his tower, played a lot of aggressive plays, and there's not much he can do. I got the lock on him. I took down the second tower with the Inferno Dragon. Inferno Dragon is a beast, man. Inferno Dragon MVP, bro. Dude, he just blows up towers. He does so much damage to towers once he locks onto them. So I highly recommend Inferno Dragon in most decks nowadays because he counters almost all heavy units. And, I mean, he's just got so much utility. Of course, if you don't have the Inferno Dragon, you could always replace him with, like, an Inferno Tower, or I always say another heavy hitter, like a Mega Knight, a mini P.E.K.K.A, or something like that. So at this point, I just kind of want to finish up the job. I'm going to try to chip away with spells, and my Ice Golem goes in there and kind of finishes up the job with the poison. I just got to zap the tower, and that's pretty much GG. Ooh, it's got 30 health left. I was wrong. Okay, so not too much to see here. Why don't we go ahead and speed through this replay and get on to the next one. Alright, I finished up the job with the poison, and that is that. Okay, so the next replay that we're going to take a look at here is versus this Golem Night Witch deck, and this is pretty similar to one that I've showcased recently in another video, except I wasn't running arrows. I was running a spawner hut, the Goblin Hut. It's a really fun deck. If you haven't checked out that video yet, check it out. Huge beatdown deck. Alright, so in this video, let's see what I do to counter the heavy deck with this interesting bridge spammy aggressive deck. I really like this deck a lot. I love all the charge effects in it. I try to double push so that he doesn't build up a push in one lane. So I split push is what I'm trying to say in opposite lanes. What I do is I use my Ice Golem there to distract the Mega Minion. You can place an Ice Golem in the left lane to distract any unit attacking enemy troop that's coming down in the right lane. And especially if they're slow in their melee, like a P.E.K.K.A, they'll just slowly chase your Ice Golem across the map. It's great. Great way to counter heavy units with a really cheap card. Alright, at that point I just distract the Lumberjack. I see that he placed down the Elixir Collector and he doesn't have much Elixir, so I go for a double push on the left side there with the Dark Prince and the Battle Ram. There's not much he can do, so he gives me the Crying Face. I go ahead and poison the Elixir Collector. Keep in mind that the poison for the Elixir Collector is now an even trade, because a couple patches ago they nerfed the Elixir Collector's health, so it has slightly lower health now. So you cost 4 Elixir, you spend, geez, I can't talk tonight, spend 4 Elixir on your poison, their Elixir Collector costs them 6, and you do enough damage to it that it only gains them 2 Elixir, so it becomes an even trade, because 6 minus 2 is 4. Easy math. Alright, so obviously the Inferno Dragon's role mainly is to counter really heavy units, like it did just there with the Golem. He gives me the crying face again. I didn't see this in the game because I decided to just mute all my opponents right away. By the way, in the upcoming patch, they're going to add a permanent mute feature so that all your opponents are always muted. And I think that's a pretty good idea. I'm glad they finally did it. A lot of people have been requesting that for a while. So I see that he pushed hard on the left. I allowed his lumberjack to get too many hits off on my tower. But I'm going to go ahead and keep trying to do my best here. We'll see how it goes, right? I know that I have the potential to defend and counter push. I just can't let him get too big of a beat down going. I pushed both lanes now because I know he's got the golem on the left lane, so I opt to counter push on the right because then he'll have to either answer it or he'll take a ton of damage on his tower with a battle ram. If you ignore the battle ram, it'll basically take a tower down, so you've always got to answer it somehow. It's really easy to take care of, but you can't just completely ignore it. So if I just send a battle ram in alone and only spend 4 elixir on it, it's a pretty good way to distract them. Of course, it's good to combo with the Ice Spirit, and like you saw there, I comboed with the Bandit as well. Took down the right tower. He gives me the angry face. Probably sees that it's not going so great for him at this point. I tried to go for a push on the left tower because it only has 400 some health left. Of course, he uses his Golem right in the front to distract my Bandit, but I got the Inferno Dragon already flapping away in the back there, and it just charges up and blows up that Golem, and that Golem is dead. Now I'm going to see if my Battle Ram connects here. It doesn't quite connect. The Lumberjack does a good job of countering the Battle Ram. But it's only got 81 health left on the tower, so I give him a GG because I know it's over, because I poisoned him. Poisoned, it's interesting to do at the end there, because you know it's going to kill them, but it slowly chips away. It doesn't kill them instantly. So it's just kind of like, okay, good game. The game will be over in about 3 seconds here. Alright, after that Golem Night Witch, I went up against this Mega Knight Hog deck. Okay, so let's see what I do here. Let's double time it until it kind of gets rolling a little bit. We don't need to watch nothing on the board. Alright, so what I do is I opt to Bandit in the back. He hogs. I don't have much in hand to counter a hog. I don't really have a super hard counter to hog in this deck, so I just use the Inferno Dragon. It allows his hog to get a ton of damage on the left there, but I use that Inferno Dragon combo with the Battle Ram to attempt to counter push on the left. He uses the Mega Knight there, which it has been nerfed recently. It does a good job of shutting down the Battle Ram, but of course I've already got the Inferno Dragon there, locks onto the Mega Knight. He tries to kill it with bats, but the bats are taken care of because I zap it just in time so that my Inferno Dragon kills the Mega Knight right before the Princess Tower kills my Inferno Dragon. Worked out great for me. So at this point, again, we're both just kind of sitting on our elixir, waiting to get going a little bit more. Let's see what we do next. Alright, let's get back into single time here. So I decide to Ice Spirit and Bandit the hog. It actually shuts it down quite well. And then I can use the Bandit on a counter push. His Bandit is going to charge in to my Battle Ram. And then let's see if my Bandit lives long enough to charge onto his. It just lives long enough. And the Barbarian tanks. But here comes the Mega Knight. Smashing stuff like he does. Alright. Inferno Dragon. Blowing up the Mega Knight. Doing his job. Flapping down the lane. Like nobody's business. Here comes the Hog Rider. But he plays the Hog Rider in an odd position. Maybe he doesn't know how to hog that well, or maybe he's just trying to distract my Bandit or something. Trying to do like some big play. Either way, it doesn't really work out for him because the Hog doesn't even really connect with the tower. And I get a good counter push going in the left lane. At this point, the Inferno Dragon is locked onto the tower, and it's got something tanking for it, so that's pretty much GG for the tower. So now I know that I just gotta kind of play hard defense, maybe go for a counter push if possible. Let's see how it goes. Alright, I Dark Prince on the right here. I'm sitting on a lot of elixir, so I'm kind of just going for a push on the right. I decide to Bandit in the pocket to try to distract the tower, but of course his Bandit is within range, kills mine. So he's got an Inferno Dragon too. I don't have anything that's too heavy, so the Inferno Dragon isn't too great of a counter to my deck. I gotta defend hard on the right here. He's got a lot coming down the lane. He doesn't have much else that's susceptible to zaps, so I zap the bats most of the time. I guess he does have the Inferno Dragon and technically the Goblins, so he does have a few things, but it seems to work out for me to zap the bats because of the fact that I don't have a lot of heavy units that are susceptible to the Inferno Dragon. So I don't really need to interrupt the Inferno Dragon's charge too much, unless, of course, it's locked onto a tower. You gotta take care of that Inferno Dragon if it's locked onto a tower. Let's see, do I get the second tower at the last second here? No, I don't, but it's a win either way. Gives me the angry face, I give him a good game. Hey, you know what, we all win, we all lose. It's alright, don't worry about it. Today I won a lot, other days I lose a lot. Alright, now this was an interesting deck. It was a Mega Knight Golem deck. Alright, let's see how it goes. So it seems kind of weird. Maybe he's trying to go for something off meta or countery, or maybe he just isn't that experienced of a player, but let's find out how it is. Alright, he has Minion Horde. That's kind of scary for my stuff, but I zap it. That takes care of that. My Bandit and my Dark Prince connect to the tower. Look at that damage just between those 2 charges. It gets like half the tower's health done. It's crazy. Alright, easy to counter his Bandit with my Ice Golem. Okay. Here comes the Mega Knight in the back, and of course I decide to plop down my Inferno Dragon. Now I have mixed feelings about putting your Inferno Dragon all the way in the back as soon as you see their tank like their Golem, because then they're going to preemptively send in counters like Swarm units. But of course that also gives you the opportunity to cycle through your whole deck and get another Inferno Dragon in the air by the time that their tank gets down the field. So for this particular case it worked out for me. The Dark Prince connects again, and he actually smacks the Bandit twice there, and she's close enough to the tower so that the tower takes some damage from the Dark Prince's AoE. So I use the Battle Ram kind of defensively there, which is a great utility for the Battle Ram that the Hog doesn't have. Although the Hog can actually distract units, so I take that back. You can send it in, and can like a P.E.K.K.A. or a Giant Skeleton will start chasing it, and then it'll leap over the river, and they'll stop chasing it for a second while it's midair, and then they'll continue to chase it once it lands again, and it just distracts them for a while. It works out pretty well. But the Battle Ram in that case, it's a good example of using it defensively. You can use it to soak up some damage, and then the 2 Barbarians pop out and just play like a minor defense. And hey, 2 Barbarians isn't bad. They're pretty strong units. Alright, I don't have to do much about his Skeleton Army. I use the Inferno Dragon to take care of the Golem. Here comes the Bats, but I zapped him. I got Poison, so that'll take care of his Minion Horde. I'm worried it's going to kill my Inferno Dragon before it gets to be too late, but it doesn't. Works out for me. Inferno Dragon's still alive, takes care of both the Golemites. I go for the counter push, but there's his Mega Knight. I'm worried about this. That Mega Knight's scary even though it got a nerf recently. I just zapped his Skeleton Army. He's got definitely a hint of bait. He's got Skeleton Army, Minion Horde, and what's the last one? He's got another kind of swarmy card in there. He's also got the Inferno Dragon, I believe. Alright. At the end here, he opts to go for an aggressive Golem. Oh, he's got the Bats. That's the other swarmy card. And maybe I'm mistaken. I don't think he does have the Inferno Dragon in this deck. I was seeing my Inferno Dragon. Hey, we all make mistakes. Alright, so at that point, I just have to finish off the game with a little bit of chip damage with my spell. And that was the Mega Knight Golem deck. Let's go ahead and run through these last 2 replays, and then we'll call it a video. I think this one or the next one of them is pretty short, so we'll end up with a slightly shorter video. I'm trying to go for slightly shorter videos. Let me know what you guys think about the length of videos. I know I have some that are like an hour long. I don't expect people to watch all of those. It's just for the sake of having them up, because I had a lot to say and I wanted to get it out there. So I'm thinking of doing like part 1 and part 2 videos like you're doing here, or like I'm doing here. Maybe I can do like part 1, I can talk like strategy and card replacements, and then part 2 I can run through replays, kind of like how I'm doing in my part 1 and part 2 of this bridge spam deck here. So at this point I defended hard, and I just kind of go for a counter push. I'm not sure what he's doing at this point. It looks like he's not playing anything. Is this going to be a dud game? Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll run through it. He gets angry. You know what? He gets a bunch of angry faces, so he probably disconnected or got a phone call or whatever. But anyway, that's that. Let's run through this last replay, and we will call it a video. Alright, what do I do for my opening move? I place the Ice Golem in the back to cycle, and then I put the Bandit behind it. I'm actually kind of a fan of putting the Bandit in the back because she has the potential to play some good defense and then to go into a counter push, depending on what they play, of course. I use the Dark Prince to counter his Miner and does some damage on the Royal Ghost. He gets about half of my tower's health down on the left side, and I've got to keep in mind he's got a Flying Machine in this deck. Now, Flying Machine is an interesting unit. You don't see it a whole lot. It has a very high win rate but a very low usage rate. It's generally used by higher skilled, higher trophy cap players. So it has really long range like a Dart Golem. It stays way in the back, but it's also very susceptible to spells. It dies instantly to a Fireball and dies quickly to Poison. And I don't believe it dies to arrows or zap or anything like that, but it takes a good amount of damage. So if you're going to place your Poison, try to poison the tower and the Flying Machine if possible. Look how far its range is, though. Now, air units are a little bit tricky. Their actual position is where their shadow is. So you see his shadow is just past the river right now on the flying machine. So it's just within the range of my princess tower. So I use the ice golem to distract it, and the princess tower chops up that ceiling fan flying machine. Alright, I go for the counter push on the right there with the battle ram. I guess it's technically not a counter push. It was just kind of an aggressive push, but it did the job. Interesting, he puts a Mega Knight hard on the right there, aggressively. He zaps, and that resets my Inferno Dragon. He's got a lot wailing away at my tower there. Not looking good for me. Inferno Dragon, you're failing me, bro. Inferno Dragon, you're supposed to lock onto them, but he's just getting distracted because they're running away. I zap the bats again. Dude, they're just destroying my tower. That's not looking good, but it's okay. We're gonna stick with it and see how we do. Now remember, if I can get an Inferno Dragon on his tower, that's GG for him. So I do get Inferno Dragon on the King Tower, but the flying machine chops it up, blows it up, shoots it out of the sky. Alright. Minor. Scary. Not really, but it tanks and distracts and chips away. My Inferno Dragon this time does a great job of tearing through his Mega Knight, and then goes on to attack the Royal Ghost. Now at this point, we're both pretty close. I go for a hard push here. The Battle Ram, especially if it's got other things distracting for it, man, it can just get in there and do a ton of damage. It doesn't connect this time though, but I still get those 2 Barbarians, and they chip away whatever he sends in. This is a really good example of using the actual bridge spam potential of this deck. I just put so much pressure on him. I put the Ice Golem in the pocket, I put other stuff at the bridge, and just spam him to death, and that is it. GG. Good game. Well, that's part 2 of my bridge spam deck. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate all the positive feedback that I have been getting and all the new subscribers. Let me know if you have any recommendations for future videos or how I could do things a little bit better. Thanks everybody, and have a good night.